Well, good morning. It's North Dakota Carnivore. My name is Lance. I'm at you again. Just got up this morning, and this is something I wanted to do for a little bit, and I keep forgetting about it. I want to give you guys my tips on what worked for me for my first 30 days and up to now for the carnivore diet and what I do. For the first thing is getting right into it. For 30 days or so, this is an elimination diet. You use it as such. Beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Salt. No other seasonings. Just eat beef, butter, bacon, eggs. And when I'm talking about beef, it can be something as simple as 80-20 ground beef. You make your own hamburgers, and any fat that's rendered out while you're cooking it, you pour it back over the hamburger before you eat it, so that you eat all the fat, because you want all the fat. The fat from the animal is what causes you to lose weight. It kicks your body into a fat burning mode that burns your body fat first. You want to do it this way, and it really makes a huge difference in your weight loss by eating the proper amount of fat. But ground beef, 80-20 is okay. 70-30 is better if you can find that. If you have the ability to and you can do this stuff, grind your own. Go out, buy a brisket, grind, chunk it up, cut the fat off as much as you can with a brisket, and weigh it out. You can weigh it out to a 65, what would that be? 65-35, or a 70-30. It makes a big difference when you get the proper amount of fat. Render the fat down that you don't use and use that when you cook. So when you make, like if you just make ground beef, I ate a lot of that. Just ground beef, ground up the hamburger like you would for tacos. Extra tallow when you first started out. Butter at the end just to make sure that you have enough fat in there, and season it with just salt. You'd be surprised how great that tastes with just like that. But the first 30 days that you go through this, you're going to need your salt. I would get a quality salt. You really got to be picky about your salt. The salt with the iodine, by the time we get it and the time we eat it, the added iodine in that is very limited, and you're not getting that much. If you think you're iodine deficient, get some iodine and start using iodine. You can put a patch on your skin. You can put a few drops into a drink and get iodine that way. Lugol's iodine is what a lot of people have been using. I've used it myself, especially in the wintertime. I don't know why. It's just in the wintertime, I got really cold this last winter. I used the iodine, and within 3 or 4 days, that went away. It's just weird. But electrolytes also. You want to get a quality electrolyte. You don't want to use sport drinks. You don't want to use what you can buy in a grocery store that's already in a bottle. Those are full of hidden sugars and terrible ingredients. Speaking of the salt, Redmond's salt has a great salt. It's got all the minerals in it. First thing you notice is the color, and then it's speckled with other stuff in there. You can see it. It hasn't been chemically altered to be a pure white salt. So I recommend the Redmond's. Redmond's also has an electrolyte. It's called Relight. I have not tried that. I don't use theirs. I use the Element Raw, which to me, I like the flavor of the raw. I like the salty taste to it. A lot of people can't handle it, but I don't have a problem with it. Using the electrolytes will also help you with the keto flu or the carnivore flu or whatever you want to call it. It's basically sugar withdrawals. Every plant that you eat is going to turn the carbohydrates that they have into a sugar. So if you look at any plant and you look at how many carbohydrates they have and how many sugars they have, every carbohydrate turns into a sugar. So don't eat it. But you're addicted to it. And that's part of the problem that I had with my weight gain is my body craved the carbohydrates. And that's why I got up to 347 pounds. I was addicted to the sugars. Now, going on this type of a diet, it's an elimination diet. So you're eliminating everything that's bad for you. You're eliminating the sugars, which are bad for you. You don't need them. There is not one sugar that you need to consume that your body needs. Your body will make the glucose that it needs for you. You don't need to take any extra sugars. So the keto flu in the first 2 weeks, you're going to have varying symptoms of withdrawals. Some people get really, really sick with it. And if you've ever seen somebody withdraw from a substance like cocaine or heroin or alcohol or any of these drugs like that, you can see that people really get sick. They get sick almost to that point from sugar. I don't think it's quite as bad as far as the withdrawals from it. The addiction to it is just as bad, or if not worse. And that's been actually shown in laboratory studies that the addiction to sugar is worse or stronger than that of cocaine and heroin in people or in laboratory animals. So if you start to feel sick, you're going through withdrawals, push through it. The electrolytes are going to help you out tremendously, and continue eating just the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, and it will make a difference. As far as seasonings in your first 30 days, just stay with salt. It's a huge difference in how you're going to feel by eliminating all those seasonings. Go up in your cupboard now and look at it and see if you can tell how many have zero sugar. There are so many seasonings out there that are full, and I mean, all kinds of sugars. I have a clip here. I might have to find it and put it in here. I have a clip that shows there's 57 or so different names, common names for sugar. And that's what we got to watch out for. Though that sugar is not going to help you one bit. It is something that's terrible for your body, and it's hidden in everything. So watch out for the hidden sugars and make sure that when you're using a seasoning, you don't have one of these hidden sugars in there. One of the most common ones that you'll see is natural flavorings. If you see natural flavorings, that is a big warning sign that they're not going to tell you what's in it. That's where they can hide whatever they want in it up to a certain amount. They don't have to disclose it to you. So one of the biggest ones that I've seen is a product called maltodextrin. It's not a sugar. It's a carbohydrate. It's a complex carbohydrate. But the glycemic index on that is twice that of sugar. So it's something that they can put in there. They can hide it under natural flavorings and be getting sugars. I currently wear a continuous glucose monitor, and I wish I would have had this when I first started. It's really when you eat anything that has a carbohydrate in it, that CGM will tell you. If you eat too much protein, and this is another part that a lot of people have trouble with, we have been taught since forever, and this started when I was a young child in elementary school with this food pyramid that we have. Started back in the 1970s. I was in school. This is what we were taught. There is absolutely zero science behind that food pyramid that was given to us then. It was an advertising campaign to get people to eat more grains. And that's what everybody ran with as being healthy, and it's not. I found the sugar thing here. I'm going to throw this up on the screen. These are just some names for sugar, whether it's solid or granulated sugars. That's some of them right there. You know, beet sugar, brown sugar, cane juice crystals, cane sugar. But these are all sugars. Sugar, raw sugar, everything in here, maltodextrin, grape sugar, glucose, dextrin, and liquids. You've got a guava nectar, syrup, golden, high fructose corn syrup, because you know how well that shit works. Honey, inverted sugar, malt sugar, maple, molasses, caramel. Caramel is a sugar. Buttercream, buttered sugar, buttercream, corn syrup, evaporated cane juice, fruit juice, dextrose, fructose, galactose, glucose, lactose, maltose, sucrose. This is 56 names, and this isn't all of them. There are more out there. But the big one that, and a lot of ingredients that you have to look at, is the natural flavorings. Don't fall for that. It's just not good for your body. So if you're going to have to season anything, check your seasoning, check the ingredients, see if anything's on that list is on there for you, because it's not good. If you need a seasoning, I get nothing from this. This is what I use. I use seasonings from a company called Carnivore Companion. They're made from plants, just like most seasonings are, except for like salt. They're made from plants, but it doesn't have the sugar in it. And I have not had a reaction to these seasonings. I don't have cravings for them. I don't have glucose spikes from them. I don't have pain from this. Yes, you're going to notice, one of the things that you'll notice with carnivore is you will reduce pain. Inflammation in your body will go away. Things like your blood pressure will change. If you have high blood pressure, if you're hypertensive, your blood pressure will change going on a carnivore diet. You get rid of the inflammatory foods, your blood pressure will go down. When you get rid of the inflammatory foods, the little aches and pains that people associate with getting older with go away. I have been pretty much pain-free since like October of last year, when I gave up coffee. That was the last thing I gave up. Yes, I gave up coffee. I gave up coffee, and within a few days, the last little aches and pains that I had went away. I've been waking up in the morning full of energy, ready to go, without pain since the first part of October last year. It has been fabulous. I can't tell you how great it feels to wake up like this. And that was long before I lost any significant weight. I was still over 300 pounds and I was waking up pain-free. It's amazing what happens. Speaking of weight, weigh yourself once a week. Don't get on that scale. Your weight fluctuates day to day, and a lot of it depends upon what you eat, and it also depends upon what you drink. Yeah, they say calories in, calories out. That's the only way you gain or lose weight. Tell you what, if you drink an excess amount of water today, tomorrow morning, you're going to weigh more because you drink excess water. You got to take the time to flush it out of your system. So weigh yourself just once a week. Pick a day, or weigh yourself on a weekend, on a Saturday or a Sunday, and just keep it consistent on when you're weighing yourself. I weigh myself on the weekend, on Saturday or Sunday. It depends upon what's going on. But I weigh myself first thing in the morning, right after I wake up, and go to the bathroom, because that's how you lose weight. You really do. You lose weight when you do that. But you don't lose 123 pounds in 11 months by just, following the standard American diet. You gotta eat right, but only weigh yourself that one time. And then the other thing is measure your body. Get a sports tape measure, measure around your belly, measure around your neck, measure your hips, your chest. If you want to, you can measure your biceps, your thighs, your calves. You are going to lose weight, and you'll see it on the scale. If you're working out now, continue working out. Your body's going to be fine with it. If you have not been working out, you haven't been walking, you haven't been lifting weights, you haven't been going to the gym, you don't have to. Take the measurements. You're going to lose weight. Some days your scale's not going to move. But when you take your weight, when you get on that scale and you take your weight, take measurements. Record those measurements so that you know what they are. So in the week where the scale doesn't move, check your measurements. Did they move? Chances are, and it's a really good possibility, that you've lost inches, but you haven't lost weight. You're building muscle. And here's an example. Let's say this is a pound of fat. This is a pound of muscle. This is what it represents in your body too. So if you lose a pound of fat and you gain a pound of muscle, you're going to lose inches on your body. You have to take that into consideration too. Now, one of the things that's going to help you lose the fat is to eat fat. Believe it or not, the higher fat that you eat, your body uses that for so much in your system. You start eating fat. Eating fat does not make you fat. Eating carbohydrates makes you fat. Eating fat kicks your body into burning fat. And it burns your fat first for energy. It'll take the fat that you're eating and it'll metabolize that into making your hormones. And it'll take the fat from your body and use that for the energy. And that's what you want. So if you track your macros now, if you track calories or carbohydrates, fat and protein, and you track the calories, well, forget about your calorie tracking. You eat beef, butter, bacon, eggs until you're full, and then stop. If you make a huge plate of eggs and bacon, and you finish 2/3 of it, and you're like, holy cow, I'm full, stop eating. You don't need to eat anymore. Eat until you're full. Eat until you're satiated. That's all you need to do. Put it in the fridge. Warm it up later. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't track your calories that go with it. If you want to track anything, and for the first 30 days, I do recommend doing this, at least for the first 30 days. Track your fat and track your protein. You should be eating 70 to 80% of your calories from fat. Now, these tracking apps, they'll give you the percentage as well as the calories. I don't care about the calories. I want to look at the percentage. Your fat should be 70 to 80%. Your protein should be 20 to 30%. For me, myself, I do best at like 74-26. It's basically where I lost the most weight, where I stayed feeling fabulous. That's where you want to be at. So if you're going to track calories, if you're going to track anything, track your macros for fat and protein, and don't worry about the rest. Eat until you're full and stop when you get full. Don't eat again until you're hungry. Try not to snack. There's no reason to snack. This eating 6 to 7 times a day or whatever the hell they're trying to push on people now is not healthy for you. It's just not. Now, what type of meats are better? Everybody has their preferred meat. Personally, I like beef. I always have liked beef. I'm okay with chicken. I don't mind it. Don't mind pork. I like bacon. I don't mind pork chops. I like pork tenderloin. They're good. But what meats do you want to eat? Well, you want to eat ruminant animals. And why is that? Why ruminant animals? Because they have the digestive system that is set up to purify their foods. They have a 4-chambered stomach. You and I don't have that. Right? We don't. Chickens don't have that. Pork doesn't have that. There are a lot of animals out there that we can eat that don't have that. But the ruminant animals, the cow, deer, buffalo, bison, elk, moose, those animals, goat, does goat have it? Yeah, lamb. Those animals have the 4-chambered stomachs. They purify their food as it goes through their system. So when you get it, it's so much better for your body. Your body takes that meat and that fat and uses it for everything in your body, right? Everything that you do comes off of this here for energy, for everything your body does. When you eat chicken or lamb, or not chicken or pork, they only have a single stomach. They have different intestinal tracts and the way stuff works for them in there. But you are basically eating exactly what they ate. So if they ate soy and you have trouble with soy and you're eating chicken breast and the chicken was fed soy, guess what? You're getting soy. It hasn't been through 3 other chambers to remove the harmful junk in there that you have an allergy to. The soy proteins in there, they're bad. You don't want them. Same with the wheat. If you're eating chicken that's been fed a wheat and soy diet, you're getting the chicken, you're getting the soy, and you're getting the wheat. So if you have issues with gluten, Well, the gluten's still in the meat of the chicken. Same with a pig. If you're eating pork that was fed garbage like that, guess what? That's what you're eating. So, and I do say beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Bacon, the pork belly, and the fat content of it and everything is actually not bad for you. It's actually, it's got about the right. Now, if you're just primarily eating bacon, you may have issues. For example, here in my household, my wife and I, we go through 5 or 6 pounds of bacon a week. We go through a lot of bacon. Bacon is good. My wife loves to snack on it. So I don't mind her eating bacon. She's not doing this diet to lose weight. She's doing it to manage her diabetes. Her weight, she wasn't overweight as a diabetic. Surprisingly, right? Everybody thinks the diabetics are big and heavy. Well, they're not. My wife is normal weight for a woman her age. And she's doing this here to help her diabetes. Now, there's a lot of different things out there. So if you eat a lot of wild game is going to be fine for you. You just got to make sure that you get enough fat. A lot of wild game is very lean, and that's where the issue comes in. You can get in trouble by eating too much protein, animal proteins. You have to have the fat that goes with it, and you got to make sure that you get enough fat. Eggs. I love eggs. Some people have issues with eggs. The egg whites, when not properly cooked, when not fully cooked, can cause issues with people. And people can have some serious issues with the egg whites. The egg yolks are full of cholesterol, which your body needs. Your body makes cholesterol, but the cholesterol you eat is seldom used and is seldom seen in any blood work because it doesn't go there. But your body uses those for so much when it gets processed through your stomach. You need to eat eggs. Eggs are perfect food for 99% of the people, unless you have an allergy to them. So, beef, butter, bacon, eggs. Eat those. Eat as much as you want until you're full. Once you're full, stop eating. Then don't eat again until you're hungry. When I first started eating carnivore, the first maybe week and a half, I ate 3 meals a day. I had my breakfast, I had my lunch, and I had my dinner when I got home. 2 weeks into it, I stopped eating lunch because I wasn't hungry. I ate eggs and bacon, eggs and sausage, eggs and ground beef in the morning. I would have 8 to 10 eggs in the morning, 8 ounces of meat with it, whether it was bacon or sausage or ground beef. When I got home, I'd eat a 16-ounce steak with eggs or shrimp or bacon, extra butter on top of everything. That's what I'd eat. I'd eat something like that. And then I did that for a couple months, and then I went to eating 1 meal a day, where I just stopped making breakfast because in the mornings I wasn't hungry. The more fat I ate, the longer I could go in between meals. I haven't had an issue eating just 1 meal a day. Now, 11 months into it, I'm back to eating breakfast some days. Some days I wake up and I'm hungry. When I wake up and I'm hungry, guess what I do? I eat. It just means I probably didn't eat enough fat the night before. So you just have to make sure that you're getting enough fat. The animal fat that you're eating is the animal fat that is feeding your body, and it's feeding your metabolism. It's helping your body make the hormones and everything else that your body needs inside of it comes from the food that you eat. Now, the carbohydrates, and this is something that a lot of people don't understand. Carbohydrates cause a lot of issues in your body. When you have a lot of carbs in your body, one of the things that happens is your insulin goes up. And when the insulin goes up and it stays up, you become insulin resistant, where your body doesn't use the insulin that it's supposed to be used. And it only happens if you have too many carbohydrates. One of the things that insulin resistance causes is what I dealt with, and that is high blood pressure. It does it. Insulin resistance causes high blood pressure. Insulin resistance causes type 2 diabetes. There's studies going on that are looking at other things that may be caused by insulin resistance, such as autoimmune diseases. Because once you cut out your carbohydrates, people stop having issues with autoimmune diseases. A lot of them. A lot of these are issues with your insulin. The other thing that's extremely bad, and I don't think I've even mentioned it yet, are seed oils. They help build insulin resistance. There isn't a seed oil out there. There's not a oil out there that is made from a plant that is good for you. It really isn't. Some are better than others. And you'll hear people say that, olive oil is okay, avocado oil is okay, coconut oil is okay. I still have issues with them. If I use too much of them, I can feel it. I can feel the aches and the pains starting to return. Just little things like getting up out of my chair after I've sat there for a while. I get that little, that hurt. But it goes away really quick. It doesn't stay there. And I've known I've had too much olive oil on something or too much avocado oil. I don't use coconut oil. But there's been something I've had that's had that in there. A lot of times, natural flavorings hides a lot of stuff like that. You have to watch out for it. Just stay away from seed oils. Don't cook anything in an oil. The only thing I really use any seed oil for right now is my Blackstone grills. When I use my Blackstone or my cast iron, after they've been used and cleaned, I reseason them with an olive oil or an avocado oil. Other than that, I don't do anything else with the oils. So these are my tips. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I'll answer in the comments, or if you can send me an email, I'll talk to you that way. I don't mind. If you find this video helpful, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you all later. You guys have a great day. I'm going to leave this up here one more time just so this stays on here. I want to keep this up there. This right here is the 56 names for sugar that you see out there that aren't good for you. So keep this in mind. Check your ingredients. You'll be surprised where you're going to find this at, because it's out there, and there's a lot out there. Y'all have a great day. Thanks.